of people, because they don't know how to manage their state and they don't have high standards, become immobilized and they don't take that next step and walk through fear. And that's one of the things we're going to do is we're going to learn we're going to recognize how people allow fear to immobilize them. So everybody in the world has got these two fears, and that's the fear of not being good enough. I didn't even know it. And the fear of not being loved, right? So if we are scared, right? If we are scared of something and we're feeling like we can't do it, by the way, this was written by Freud back, I can't remember, a long time ago. Every single person in the world, we do everything to avoid fear and to gain pleasure. Every behavior we have is an attempt to avoid fear and to gain pleasure. And I can break that down on every level for every single person. If you want to talk about it, please let me know. But what controls and determines the quality of our life is your emotions, right? So if you're very fearful, you're probably going to have anxious feelings of anxiety. You're going to feel anxious feelings of anxiety, uncertainty, right? So especially during times like this with COVID, you're like, oh, what's going to happen? Are we going to live? Are we going to die? Is the country going to survive? Is the country going to thrive? Is it going to fall? Is it, nobody knows what's going on. So if you're fearful and that's where you live in your emotional home, those emotions are going to determine the quality of your life. So we need to be able to manage those emotions through our state so we can make sure that our quality of life is exactly what we want it to do, what we want it to be, right? And why do we do what we do? What drives 100% of human emotion, right? Again, it's this desire to avoid pain and to gain pleasure. So we talk about this, how we react to these emotions, how we react to these feelings of fear and pleasure, if you will. They remind me of the two contrasts. I don't know if you guys have ever heard the story, but Carly Simon, remember? You're so vain. I won't sing it for you guys right now because your ears will start bleeding, I know. So Carly Simon and Bruce Springsteen are two singers, two very, very popular artists that have served in our entertained us for years. And they both had what we call anxiety or stage fright. So when Carly described it, when she was interviewed and she would describe her stage fright, she said, I just can't do it. I get up there, I get ready to stage, and all of a sudden my heart starts pounding, and I start sweating all over, and I can't even see straight, and I just know I can't possibly go on. I actually saw a Saturday Night Live clip not too long ago that had been filmed back in the 70s, and it was her singing, but it was pre-recorded because she couldn't even get up and do it in front of a studio audience. Forget about a live stage somewhere, but a smaller studio audience, she couldn't even perform. She had such stage fright. Now, when you ask Bruce Springsteen the same question, how does he decide his anxiety? He says, or his fear, if you will, he says, you know what, I get up there and all of a sudden I start shaking and my heart starts racing and I start getting, I almost can't see straight, and he says, and then I know I'm ready. So the key is using fear and not letting fear use you, and that's through state management. So you have two people have the exact same emotion for the quality of their life, but it depends on how we use fear that determines what our outcome will be. So why we do what we do and what drives all of our human action is how we respond to these two belief systems that we have, right?